Rumors about BTS's Jimin and actress da-eun have been circulating for years. Since 2019, online communities in Korea were buzzing with supposed clues pointing to their closeness. Some fans linked their Instagram posts, compared photo locations, and even created a timeline of their alleged relationship. For years, Bigot Music remained silent. The agency, known for protecting its artists, chose the usual strategy of no comment. That silence finally broke in late August 2025, when Bigot released a rare official statement. It is true that BTS's Jimin once had a relationship with actress da-eun. However, the relationship ended a long time ago. We asked the public to refrain from spreading harmful rumors. The short statement was enough to shake the K-pop industry. For the first time, years of speculation had been confirmed, sparking powerful and mixed reactions among fans worldwide. The whispers began when da-eun posted photos on Instagram. Fans noticed that her locations, meals, and even fashion items appeared similar to Jimin's. They pieced them together like puzzles. In 2022, rumors resurfaced after da-eun appeared on a variety show, hinting vaguely at a relationship with an idol. Although she never mentioned a name, many assumed it was Jimin. Interestingly, Dispatch, the infamous outlet known for exposing celebrity couples, never published an exposé. Instead, online communities kept the rumors alive. When Bigot finally confirmed the truth, fans revisited these past clues. For some, it was validation of what they had long believed. For others, it was a shocking revelation that tested their loyalty. Korean ARMY's reactions were deeply divided. Some felt betrayed, some were upset about Jimin's focus, while others responded with acceptance on Pan, a popular Korean forum. Comments ranged from, "I'm sad, but I'll still support his music. Why confirm now? They could have stayed silent. Let Jimin be happy, he's human too." K-pop culture in Korea remains rigid when it comes to idol dating. Idols are often expected to remain single, to preserve the fantasy between fan and idol. This explains why Korean reactions leaned more critical than international ones. Korea, the mood was very different. Global ARMY overwhelmingly rallied behind Jimin. Hashtags like #WeSupportYouJimin and #RespectJimin dominated Twitter/X trends. Fans across the US, Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America voiced one message: Jimin has the right to love. For them, his artistry remains untouched by his personal past. International media highlighted this cultural gap. Billboard wrote, "HYB's rare admission shows a cultural divide in how idol dating is perceived in Korea versus abroad." Within 24 hours of Bigot's statement, Twitter/X recorded more than 3 million posts related to Jimin on TikTok. Reaction videos, old clues, and fan edits went viral. Some celebrated Jimin, others dissected the relationship. Meanwhile, on Reddit, international fans engaged in long discussions about privacy, idol culture, and even the mental health of K-pop stars. The rumor's confirmation became the spark for broader debates on the industry. Part 6. Unwavering support for Jimin. Despite some negativity, the majority of fans responded with love and solidarity, fan art and tribute videos. Artists shared drawings and video compilations celebrating Jimin charity projects. International fanbases launched donation drives in Jimin's name. Open letters. Fans wrote multilingual letters of support on Weverse and social media. The central message was clear: we are here for your music, not your private life. A small but loud group of fans reacted negatively. Many directed their anger at da-eun, accusing her of seeking attention or ruining Jimin's career. Bigot responded firmly, warning that malicious commenters and rumor spreaders would face legal action. The agency has a history of suing individuals for defamation, so the warning was serious. This backlash revealed the darker side of fandom, when admiration turns into hostility if reality doesn't align with fantasy. For da-eun, the situation was bittersweet. Korean media largely portrayed her only as Jimin's ex-girlfriend, overshadowing her identity as an actress. Meanwhile, international outlets painted her more sympathetically, noting how she endured years of harassment without proof, and how Bigot's confirmation vindicated her. Still, being dragged back into the spotlight also reignited waves of hate. Her public image remains caught between empathy and hostility. Jimin's case reignited a long-standing debate. Why is idol dating still a scandal? In Korea, idols are seen as belonging to fans. Dating is often considered a betrayal of that bond. But globalization has shifted the narrative. International fans insist idols are entitled to private lives. For them, artistry and humanity coexist. Some analysts suggest this may mark a turning point. A public admission from a giant agency like BTS could signal a slow but meaningful cultural change in how idol dating is normalized. When BTS confirmed Jimin's past romance with actress da-eun, the news didn't just land on entertainment headlines. It echoed in the hearts of millions of armies around the world. To understand the emotional impact, one must remember the unique relationship between BTS and their fans, a bond that transcends typical artist-fan dynamics and has evolved into a deeply personal, almost familial connection. Point 1. The complexity of parasocial bonds. For many fans, Jimin is not merely a performer. He is a constant presence in their lives, through music, live streams, interviews, and even the smallest interactions on Weverse. Psychologists call this type of connection a parasocial relationship, one-sided yet emotionally powerful. When the dating news surfaced, some fans reported feeling a sense of betrayal. This wasn't because they wanted to control Jimin's life, but because the intimacy they had imagined suddenly felt disrupted by an invisible third party. A fan from Seoul shared on Twitter, "It feels like I knew him, but maybe I didn't. It's confusing." Others, however, framed it differently. For them, the confirmation was liberating, proof that Jimin was living as a normal human being with real experiences. "It makes him more relatable," one fan in Mexico wrote, "not less." 2. Grief, shock, and acceptance. The emotional trajectory for many fans resembled the stages of grief. Initially, shock dominated the online discourse. Disbelief, memes, frantic searches for old clues. Then came anger or sadness for some, expressed through posts questioning why idols keep secrets. But over time, acceptance began to surface. The fanbase, while not uniform in its reactions, demonstrated resilience. A large number of armies began emphasizing self-reflection. "Why should I feel betrayed? He owes me music, not his personal life. I realize I projected my fantasy onto him. Now I can support him as a real person." These reflections marked an evolution in fandom maturity, an acknowledgement of boundaries between personal and public life. Point 3. Community divisions and healing. Of course, not all fans processed the news at the same pace. Some splinter groups emerged, criticizing either Jimin or da-eun. A handful even declared they were leaving the fandom altogether. But what stood out was how ARMY, as a collective, responded. Larger fanbases and community leaders actively called for empathy and unity. Twitter threads, Discord chats, and even offline gatherings turned into spaces for mutual support. Point 1. Global fan account with over 1 million followers wrote, "We may not all agree, but we are one fandom. Let's not let this break us." This sense of healing as a community is part of what makes ARMY unique. The shared emotional labor created a deeper sense of solidarity, even amid conflict. Point 4. Personal stories of connection. To truly grasp the emotional stakes, consider the countless fans who grew up alongside Jimin. For a teenager in 2013, Jimin's debut may have coincided with their own high school struggles. For a university student in 2017, his music may have been the soundtrack to late-night studies. For someone battling depression in 2020, Jimin's comforting words during lockdown may have been a lifeline. When someone like Jimin becomes woven into the fabric of one's personal milestones, any revelation about his life feels intertwined with one's own story. That explains why reactions weren't just about celebrity gossip, but about identity, memory, and belonging. Point 5. Moving toward growth. By the end of the first week after the announcement, a noticeable shift had occurred. Hashtags of anger dwindled, while those of support surged. Art, poetry, and letters flooded social media, showing that ARMY was ready to move forward. The takeaway is that fandoms are not static. They evolve, learn, and adapt. Jimin's revelation may have triggered pain for some, but it also forced a collective confrontation with reality. Idols are not perfect illusions. They are human beings. And in that realization, ARMY as a community may have grown stronger.